So I want you to picture your favorite local business owner. Maybe it's your local mechanic or an independent consultant you work with.
Right, someone in your neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I want you to picture that exact same person trying to compete with a massive corporation, like multi-million-dollar marketing army, literally just to show up in a basic online search.
It's a completely unfair fight.
It really is. And that is exactly what we are unpacking in today's deep dive. We're looking at some really interesting source material detailing a new platform called AutoSite AI.
Yeah, and their whole mission is basically to completely level that digital playing field for the solo operator.
Right, which is huge. We're going to explore how this tool aims to give them what the developers call effortless visibility and maybe most importantly, let them finally reclaim their free time.
Which is so desperately needed.
Seriously. But before we get into the actual tech and how it fixes things, we kind of need to understand the battlefield. Like, how exactly is the system rigged right now?
Well, to understand the rigged system, you really have to look at what algorithms actually want. Because up until now, the whole thing has been stacked against the little guy.
Right.
Like, algorithms don't inherently care about the quality of the real-world work. They don't know if your local mechanic is honest or, if a contractor does flawless carpentry.
They just see data.
Exactly. Algorithms really just crave two things above all else, which are recency and consistency.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, they constantly reward the entities that can feed them this never-ending stream of content and updates and optimized keywords.
Okay, let's unpack this for a second because that volume requirement, that creates a deeply unnatural scenario for an average small business owner.
Yeah, completely.
It's sort of like asking a master carpenter to also be a full-time digital broadcaster just to sell, like one single dining table.
That is a great analogy.
Right, because you aren't just cutting the wood and doing the joinery anymore. You have to, pause the saw, set up a ring light, take a video of the wood.
And then figure out the right hashtags for the wood.
Yes, exactly. You optimize the description for local search engines and then cross-post it across, 4 different platforms. Yeah. The source calls it a copy and paste nightmare.
And think about the cognitive load of that whole process. Going from a deep, focused flow state of actually crafting that table to this highly analytical, kind of superficial state of social media management, it's jarring.
Totally. So is this rig system just a matter of, budget, or is the real cost this operational fatigue that's taking owners away from their actual craft?
It's absolutely the operational fatigue. The budget matters because corporate giants just bypass this entirely, right?
Yeah.
They spend millions on dedicated digital agencies.
Right. Their whole job is just feeding the algorithmic beast.
Exactly. So the corporation wins the visibility battle by default simply because they have the human capital to generate constant digital noise. But for the solo operator, that operational fatigue is basically a silent killer.
It just drains them.
It does. It forces Main Street creatives and contractors onto this really relentless content treadmill. And the broader implication is pretty staggering.
How so?
Well, when local business owners are stuck behind a screen doing, digital busy work, they are fundamentally absent from the physical world.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, they aren't out there refining their craft, they aren't interacting meaningfully with their clients, and they certainly aren't building their local community.
Or just trying to keep their head above water in this digital ocean they were never even trained to swim in.
Perfectly said. Yeah.
So if human time is the ultimate bottleneck here, and a solo operator obviously cannot afford a $10,000 a month PR firm, how do they bridge that gap?
Without going bankrupt, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you fight a marketing army without drafting an army of your own?
You do it by basically removing the human from the digital equation entirely. And this is where the core mechanism of AutoSite AI actually comes into play.
Okay, tell me more about that.
So the developers are proposing a system that just completely shoulders the burden of the online presence. It runs in the background to bring customers through the door using what they call automated visibility.
Hey, let me play devil's advocate here for a second because I'm curious. If AutoSite AI gives literally every local business an automated marketing army, aren't we just going to flood local search results with AI-generated noise?
That's a very fair question.
Right. If every plumber and electrician certainly has an AI writing their blog posts, hasn't the baseline just shifted? How is it an unfair advantage if it's just robots shouting at other robots?
So that is the exact trap that a lot of early AI tools fell into. They were just generating volume for the sake of volume. But AutoSite AI operates differently.
Okay. How so?
It's designed to act as a digital proxy, like an avatar that is deeply tethered to the physical work the business is actually doing in the real world. It doesn't just invent content out of thin air.
Okay, so how does that actually work in practice, like day to day?
Let's go back to the mechanic example. Right now, a mechanic finishes a complex transmission rebuild.
Okay.
If they want visibility for that, they have to go wash their hands, sit at a computer, and write a whole post about it. But with an integrated AI proxy, the workflow changes completely.
What do they do instead?
The mechanic literally just snaps a quick photo of the finished transmission with their phone, maybe adds like a 3-word voice note, something like Ford F-150 transmission replaced, and they are done.
Wait, really? And the AI just takes over from there?
Instantly. The system ingests the photo and the brief note, it understands the context, and it automatically drafts this fully SEO-optimized update about, say, recognizing the signs of transmission failure in a Ford F-150.
Oh, wow. That's incredibly specific.
Yeah, and it sizes the image perfectly for Google My Business, it formats it for Facebook, updates the shop's local keywords to index for F-150 repair, and publishes it across all channels simultaneously.
So it takes the raw, authentic reality of what they just did and instantly translates it into the language the algorithm demands.
Exactly. It proves to the algorithm that this business is active, authoritative, and constantly serving the local area.
It's almost like, think of it like an avatar attending all the internet networking events you don't have time for.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Right? It's out there shaking hands with the search algorithms while you are physically under the hood of the next car.
That is a perfect way to look at it because it handles the translation and the distribution, which are always the two most time-consuming parts.
And here's where it gets really interesting to me, right? Because, yes, instantly updating local search indexes is technically impressive. But the source emphasizes this deeply human benefit.
Reclaiming the evenings.
Yes.
Yeah.
The ability to reclaim your evenings. Like if a coffee shop owner saves 15 hours a week by not agonizing over social media schedules, that's massive.
It's almost a full month of their life back over the course of a single year.
Exactly. So by handing over this digital heavy lifting to the system, does this mean the owner can finally just focus exclusively on serving clients? Like getting to see their kids before bedtime?
Absolutely. It's about decoupling digital effort from human time. And honestly, that is the true unfair advantage being offered here.
Because it separates the digital grind from the physical business.
Right. The system handles the invisible digital warfare, so the independent consultant or the mechanic can just be fully 100% present in their real life and their local community.
You literally just build the table,
Yeah.
and you let the proxy make sure the entire neighborhood knows it's for sale.
Exactly.
Well, it's a wildly empowering concept.
Yeah.
But pulling that off, like building an engine capable of instantaneous image recognition and contextual generation and native cross-platform publishing, that takes serious firepower.
Oh, yeah. It requires a massive amount of technical infrastructure.
Right, which leads to this really fascinating strategic decision by the developers. If this technology is actually powerful enough to rival corporate marketing armies, why on earth are they turning to a Kickstarter campaign?
It's a great question.
Right, like instead of traditional tech investors, why aren't they walking into boardrooms in Silicon Valley to get the millions they need to build this?
It really comes down to a fundamental alignment of incentives. The creators of AutoSite AI are making a massive, deliberate ideological statement with that choice.
Okay, what kind of statement?
They explicitly state in the source that they are not building this platform for Silicon Valley tech giants. It is built entirely for the local mechanics, the contractors, and Main Street creatives.
And I guess taking venture capital kind of changes that dynamic.
Exactly. The reality of venture capital is that when you take tech investor money, the clock immediately starts ticking.
Right, because eventually those investors want their massive return. And if you take their money, your true customer eventually becomes the shareholder, not the mechanic.
Precisely. I mean, we've seen it happen 1,000 times in the software industry, haven't we?
Oh, well, time.
A platform launches, it's incredibly useful for small businesses, it gains traction, and then the investors demand aggressive monetization.
So they introduce premium tiers. They gate the best features behind, like expensive enterprise pricing.
They sell user data, and suddenly the local business is completely priced out of the very tool that was supposedly built for them.
Wow. So by choosing a crowdfunding model, AutoSite AI is attempting to bypass that cycle entirely?
Exactly. They're answering directly to the local businesses from day one. The campaign is designed to be funded by the very community it protects.
It's like a structural protection against selling out.
That's exactly what it is.
So what does this all mean for the actual tech, though? Because a Kickstarter campaign still has to, deliver a working product. The developers claim the core architecture is already built and the workflow is validated.
Right. They have the prototype.
So what exactly is this community funding?
They are funding the leap from that working prototype to an industrial strength machine. Their technical roadmap explicitly outlines building what they call enterprise-grade, lightning-fast AI infrastructure.
Okay, wait. Let's hover on that phrase for a second. Enterprise-grade AI infrastructure. Yeah, but being built for a neighborhood tire shop.
It's quite the juxtaposition, isn't it?
It really is. You almost never see those concepts interacting. Usually, enterprise-grade technology is heavily gated behind enterprise-grade pricing.
Oh.
Fortune 500 companies have dedicated servers and massive databases processing real-time behavior. Giving that level of heavy artillery directly to a solo operator seems like a massive gamble.
It is a profound democratization of infrastructure, but honestly, it's absolutely necessary.
Why is it so necessary to go that big?
Because if you want a proxy avatar to successfully fight a massive corporate marketing army, that avatar cannot be running on some cheap shared server that crashes when it gets too many requests.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right. It requires immense computational power to generate contextually accurate, fully SEO-optimized content in milliseconds without hallucinating or making errors.
So they also need to fund the constant updates for publishing integrations too, right? Because Google and Facebook change the rules constantly.
Exactly. They have to keep the backend aggressively updated while ensuring the user experience remains flawlessly simple for the business owner.
So backing this campaign isn't just buying software. As the source says, it's basically handing a competitive weapon directly to the solo operators.
That's the gamble they're making, that a community of small businesses can pool their resources through crowdfunding and essentially buy their own enterprise server farm.
And it really brings us full circle to the journey we've taken today. We started by looking at this invisible war, how massive corporations use infinite human capital to dominate the algorithms.
Leaving local businesses at a severe disadvantage, yeah.
Right, forcing independent owners onto this exhausting, soul-crushing content treadmill just to survive.
And we've seen how AutoSite AI proposes to completely dismantle that treadmill. By automating the algorithm game, they aim to translate physical craft into digital visibility.
Giving them effortless visibility in their evenings back, and crucially, doing it while actively avoiding the Silicon Valley venture capital trap.
Which is huge. By answering directly to their users, they ensure the mission remains focused on keeping neighborhoods alive.
So, to you listening, the next time you are walking through your local neighborhood, I really want you to look at the businesses around you. The coffee shops, the independent garages, the consultants.
The people who actually make the community run.
Exactly. Think about how much unseen anxiety and operational fatigue and copy and paste nightmares go into simply reminding the digital world that they exist.
It's a heavy burden, and it leaves us with a truly fascinating implication for the future to mull over.
What's that?
Well, if a platform like this actually succeeds, if they can pull off this infrastructure and fully automate visibility for every local business, effectively neutralizing that corporate digital advantage, what happens next?
Oh, wow.
Right? Once the algorithm game is automated and the digital playing field is perfectly level, will the only deciding factor for a business's success finally revert purely to the sheer quality of their real-world craft and the genuine human connections they build in their community?